Can I ask you a couple of questions?
Yeah, go for it.
Right. I normally ask people 3 questions, and by the 3rd question, they normally they start off telling me they're against animal abuse, and then they start to justify it.
Yeah.
Do you think you'll do that?
No.
Right. Okay. So question 1. No, you're fine. You're fine. Question 1. What do you think of animals?
I love them.
Love them.
It's like a second family member.
Yeah. I class them as like wee brothers or wee sisters and stuff.
Yeah.
I love them.
I agree.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think of people who abuse animals or just animal abuse in general?
Disgusting. Disgusting.
Slimy.
Hate them. Yeah.
They should be locked up.
Yeah.
Most people say the same thing. Locked up or hung or shot or whatever.
Yeah.
I tend to agree. I'm going to ask you an extra question. What do you qualify as abuse? Or how would you describe abuse?
Like hitting it or like screaming in its face or whatever, or
A lot of people
not
shave
feeding
them.
it. Yeah.
Like if there's animals out the street and then there's people that put like fireworks and all on them. Like
I know,
that's
fireworks are terrible, I hate them.
Horrible.
I would describe abuse as mental or physical harm
Yeah.
when it's not necessary. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay, 4th question. This is the reason I'm here. I'm not trying to catch you out and I'm not judging you. I'm just trying to make people think this is what I do.
Okay.
So the 4th question is, what about the animals that we send into slaughterhouses and we turn into food and clothing? What about those
they
animals?
still have a life, but they were put here for a reason.
So do you think that justifies what we do to them?
Kind of, but maybe ration the animals.
It's
You
not
think
fair.
it's okay? Not fair or fair?
Not fair.
I agree with you. I don't think there is a justification at all.
I don't think it's right.
So if you think kicking a dog's bad, for example, well then,
Slaughtering a cow or a pig.
exactly.
That's horrible.
Why is it okay to throw a pig in the gas chamber and hang them upside down and cut their throat? That's
Exactly.
surely 10 times worse than
Yeah,
kicking
it's
an
fine.
animal. And if you can just eat a plant-based product instead, or like Dr. Martens sell a full vegan range of shoes, exactly the same as the skin ones.
Yeah.
Well, if all the alternatives are available and you can survive and thrive on a plant-based diet and be vegan, well then what would be the justification? Have you ever thought of that before? And I'm not judging you, by the way, because I used to pay for it for a long time too. I just came across some information and I thought, shit, I love animals. I would never harm an animal. But when I buy the product, supply and demand, so I'm literally paying people to do things to animals I would never do myself.
Yeah.
I would never forgive myself if I'd done some of those things.
Does all my shopping, so she
Yeah.
would like check. She checks them all and makes sure that they're not. Because I'm
Not what?
like animal based or like even my makeup and
That's
stuff.
cool. So you're using like Lush or
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. So there's cruelty-free makeup, of course.
Yeah.
But it's the same with food and clothing. Food and clothing are probably the 2 biggest contributors to
Yeah.
animal. People don't like to call it abuse, but I see it as abuse.
I
Like
see it as abuse.
stabbing an animal in the throat is abuse, right?
Yeah.
Electrocuting a
It's
chicken is abuse. It's just when it's
How do
done.
they do that to chickens?
Yeah, they hang them upside down. They come along a conveyor belt thing.
No, don't even hug me.
I know. I'm not trying to upset you.
No, I know.
But they're hung upside down by their legs. They come across down a conveyor
seen
belt.
that, like,
They're dipped into
horrible.
water, which is an electric current, to stun them, and then their throats are
like, you can
cut.
just see all the meat and all hanging and turns you.
Yeah.
It turns you.
Do you think that's weird that the meat turns you? Would you ever think that about a piece of fruit or a vegetable or a potato? You know, but when you see meat and it's,
Yeah, because it comes from the dirt.
I know, you're going to wash it.
Yeah.
But do you know that shop? Do you know what beside City Hall? If you go along, there's a shop now selling. Have you seen that place with like legs and stuff hanging?
How come people
That-
cook rabbits and all? I don't know, and eat them like rabbits do,
It's
you know?
not even that. It's
I hate
the.
Like all
Do you
animals,
see the
right?
thing like Save Ralph? It's like the whole thing about the wee rabbit. It's like a short movie.
Yeah,
And
what?
it's like it's like a short movie.
Is this
and
like
it's-
testing and stuff?
You better not show me this.
It's called Save Ralph. It's
Don't
on
be showing me
YouTube.
this.
But it's, I get it. Most people are against testing and fur.
Yeah.
But you're taught kind of to normalise what happens to food and clothing animals
Yeah.
as if it's a completely normal thing. But have you seen, I mean, beef cows are taken into the slaughterhouse at 18 months old. They're still children. They can live to 30 years old.
Yeah, and it's like cows getting separated from like their.
You know about
mums
that? So
yeah.
that's how the dairy industry works.
Yeah, like
As soon as they're born, they're taken away. Deeply distressing for their mums. That's terrible to abduct somebody's child away from them. And maternal instinct's not just for us, it's for animals too.
Yeah.
They'll cry for their baby for 3 or 4 weeks. The baby boys are killed almost straight away because they don't produce milk in the dairy industry, just disposed of.
They don't really like produce babies, so they don't really need as many of
Yes,
them.
so the boys are disposed of. The girls go into the industry, they're made pregnant once a year. forcibly impregnate it
That's not fair.
so that they produce milk. Because the only time you would produce milk is if you were having a child, right?
Yeah.
So it's the same for them. They take the baby away, they make her pregnant again. They do that 5 or 6 times, and after about 6 years, her body has completely given up. She's called spent, and guess where she goes? Off to have her throat cut at the slaughterhouse. So that's all. I think that's all shit, and I know you do too from talking to you. I don't want to support any of that. So if I can go into Starbucks and buy a cappuccino with oat milk instead, which tastes pretty much the same. If I can go into Tesco's and buy vegan pizza, Little Wing do a full vegan menu, you know the place around the corner here?
Yeah.
McDonald's do a McPlant, KFC do vegan chicken nuggets,
I don't think I ate
Burger
these
King
chips.
do vegan Royale, and they do a plant-based Whopper as well. So if you have all those alternatives, then
What's chips made out of?
chips made out of potatoes. But, potatoes. But some people fry them in a thing called lard, which is animal fat. But most places are using vegetable oil nowadays. So the wee things you need to check when you go vegan. But
At least the only thing I eat is chips or rice or noodles.
well, I haven't eaten an animal product since I was 19, right? I'm 56 now.
You don't look 56?
Well, I'm living proof that you can survive and thrive on a plant-based diet, and I did it way back in the day when all these alternatives weren't available. You can literally just eat plants. Like say you're making a curry or something, you can just throw in chickpeas or sweet potatoes. You don't have to use vegan alternatives, or you can use a vegan alternative. The way I see it is, I always choose the cruelty-free option, always, because if I put a knife in your hand, right? And I said, we're going to have lamb for tea tonight.
No, I can't.
you,
Oh, no.
you might eat it. You might,
No, I
maybe, or a Sunday roast.
No,
Right? No, but it's already dead, and your mum's cooked in the oven.
I still
right?
don't eat it. I don't eat that stuff.
Well, a lot of people do. But imagine you brought a baby lamb. They're killed at 4 to 6 months old. Imagine you brought the lamb in and gave somebody a knife and said, "Here, stick that knife in that little lamb's throat, and we're going to cook it for dinner." How many people would be able to do that? Do you think?
I wouldn't.
Maybe about 50, 100 at tops.
Psychopaths would do it. Yeah, I get it. Yeah. Normal people wouldn't. And if, say you're at a party and that was going to happen and somebody said, "I'll do it," what would everybody else do?
Stop them.
They'd stop them. Exactly. So my way of stopping people from doing that is
Well, I
not...
said stop them.
Yeah, well, you went a stage further. Everybody would try and stop them.
Yeah.
You would
I would
be,
stop
no
them.
way. So my way of trying to stop people from harming animals is not to pay for the products.
Yeah.
So I know it seems like I'm not trying to catch people out. I'm genuinely wanting people not to pay those industries. I've been in the farms and in the slaughterhouses, and I see what we do to
Been in a
animals.
slaughterhouse? I couldn't even watch that or see any of that.
Yeah, I live in Ballymena, right? And there's 2 miles up the road from me. It's a pig slaughterhouse.
Yeah.
Do you know what we do to them when they get there? I'm going to shock you now because people don't know this. What do you think we do to them?
Hit them.
Put them in gas chambers. Gas chambers. It's common practice in the pit. They tell us it's the most humane method. They stand in line, they put in a cage, and they're dropped into a carbon dioxide gas chamber. You can actually watch that footage online on YouTube. I've stood beside it and watched it and listened to it. I swear to God, I stood and cried. I couldn't even speak for a day the last time I was there. So bad. The squid under those animals. And you know what's even worse? The ones behind know what's coming to them. Because they know, animals know from the sound of another animal that something bad's going to happen. The ones behind Wayne are freaking terrified. So bad. So why would I pay for that when I can just buy vegan sausages instead? You go into Tesco's and buy Linda McCartney sausages, they taste almost exactly the same.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm here. What do you think of all that? Give me a final thought.
Heartbreaking.
Worth thinking about.
It's heartbreaking.
Is it something you would consider?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Can I give you a card each before you go?
Yeah.
I hope you don't think I was trying to catch you out, by the way.
No,
I'm an animal rights activist and a vegan activist as well. No, I'm not here to judge people. I was brought up the same as you were. It was just normalised to me, these things. It's necessary.
I hate that people see like yous walking about and fighting for what you believe in, and then they're like,
I'm not fighting anybody.
I know, but
Although
it's like
people
you're
do call me an extremist. There's nothing extreme about me.
Please tell me there's nothing to do with animals.
What?
and like you sit and talk to us and you're nice and
That's
you're
Coke's fine.
understanding.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. I can still drink girl.
People say vegans are extreme, right? And activists are extreme. What's extreme about not wanting people to stab animals in the throat?
Yeah.
I just
Exactly.
see
It's
it.
extreme trying to fucking do it.
The extreme thing is taking animals down to somewhere and sticking knives in their throats. That's the extreme position. So I'll give you one each and then I'll show you what to watch. There
Thank
you
you.
Thank you.
go. So
Thank you.
I do YouTube and Instagram. I'm not looking for subs. I'm going to ask you to, these are all wee resources and stuff here, right? So you can check out. Cowspiracy Seaspiracy are about the environment and how animal agriculture is trashing the earth. Game Changers is like sports people, and it's showing you like Novak Djokovic, Venus and Serena Williams, Lewis Hamilton, they're all vegan, so if they can be vegan, anybody
Do you know
can.
the vegan teacher?
Yes. I don't watch her stuff. I
don't watch
She just annoys me.
Nah, I know she annoys a lot of people, but she's looking for views, I suppose.
Yeah.
But the one I want you to watch, see this one at the bottom, the best speech I'll ever hear. This is a guy just giving he went round American universities giving a lecture.
Yeah.
I watched that about 11 years ago. I wasn't fully vegan. I was wearing leather and stuff. And I watched that, and it's literally the best speech you'll ever hear in your life. And I went completely vegan overnight. So watch that sometime and see what you think. Give it some thought.
Yeah.
And just always remember every time you buy a product that if it's animal based, like some animals had to suffer terribly for that product, you know.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to guilt trip you, it's just a fact.
No, yeah.
Can I ask your names?
Kira.
Norma.
Cody Lee.
Thank you. What did you say again?
Cody Lee.
Cody Lee. Cody Lee.
C-O-T-Y.
C-O-T-Y. That's unusual. Right. Guys, thank you so much for stopping. Don't lose those cards. Check that out.
Yes, that's okay. Thank you.
All right. Have a nice day.